bare hands. I want you to end the fight fast. Before we get started, I want to say that I'm a big fan of grappling. I started, as my first martial art was judo. I wrestled in high school. I've done a lot of jiu-jitsu over the years, both traditional Japanese jiu-jitsu, which is nothing like Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Plus Hapkido has some grappling in that. Big fan right here, big fan of grappling. I highly recommend if you're serious about self-defense and you can learn some grappling. But if you can't, if you're getting old, I think you can do it no matter how old you are. But there are real limitations. It's hard on the hips, it's hard on the knees, it's hard on the feet, and then there's the cauliflower ear. But if you don't mind all that, then get into that. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu especially, I think is a great way to learn how to end the fight fast and defend yourself. But this is gonna be a striking video. We're gonna talk about bare hands. This was a request. How do you defend yourself with bare hands? As we get older, and we don't wanna go to the ground as much because we have a hip replacement pending, and bad knees, and you wanted to be able to defend yourself, we're gonna talk about using your bare hands for self-defense. That means you don't have one of these, you don't have one of these, what I carried earlier when I went to church, what I carry for work every day. So don't put that in the comment section. Or you can if you want. You can say, oh yeah, don't bring your bare hands to a gunfight. You can say that if you want, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about bare hands, how do you defend yourself? Hey Eleanor, it's good to see you. Three things, you're gonna get three basic techniques. First one is the one most people think about, which is a punch. Now, my fists have been trained since I was a kid, punching things, hitting things. I used to have a beautiful martial arts school, huge, and I had multiple classrooms. In every classroom, I had what we call a kyungo in Korean or a makiwara in Japanese. And that's a board which moves a little bit and it's wrapped in rice, what do you call it, rope. And then you punch it. And you punch it, and you punch it, and your bones change, they get more dense, that bone marrow changes, your knuckles get bigger, and you punch it, and you punch it, and then you condition your hands. But you can still break your hand if you punch somebody in the face. But let's go over punches first. How do you defend yourself with bare hands? First one is gonna be a jab punch. Now there are three things that you have to do if you wanna knock somebody out for self-defense. If you're using a punch, it's gonna be the same for all strikes, but especially if you're gonna use a punch. The first thing that you need to do is you need an extension. You need to extend the arm fully. That's going to give you better reach. It's gonna let you hit him before he gets in to get to your face. That's gonna give you speed, more power. Speed and power come together. If you're strong and you move fast, you can hit him harder. If you're not as strong, you move fast, you're gonna hit him harder. If you rotate through your shoulders and the hips. So you need to have full extension and full rotation. You're gonna engage all of the muscles from the bottom of the feet through your knuckles when you smash into the face for self-defense if you're rotating through your shoulders and your hips. So extension of the arm, and then you turn that, you'll see boxers turn the knuckle up, the little pinky knuckle up a little bit like that. That's to get that full extension, to make sure that they're doing full extension. And no, you're not gonna hyperextend your elbow like when you were 8 and you threw a punch in the air and you missed the guy and then it hurt. Don't put that, again, put whatever you want in the comment section. I believe in free speech. I don't care where you live and if they're trying to take it away from you, if they already have. And my channel, put whatever you want in the comment section. Free speech for everybody. But I'm gonna tell you, if you train and you practice, you're not gonna be popping your elbow joint there because you threw a punch and you missed it. If that happens and it occurs to your head, that happened to you when you were 8 because you didn't know how to punch. Learn how to punch. Extension, turn that knuckle up, rotation through the shoulders and hips, and then acceleration. That's when you move the front foot on the jab and the back foot on your cross punch when it comes across the body. You got a jab, you got a cross, you got a hook, you got an uppercut. Then you have variations of all those punches, and you can do them close, you can do them far, but that's basically it. Those are your punches. Make sure when you make your fist, especially if you're doing martial arts style, if you're wearing boxing gloves, because you're a boxer, you're gonna have gloves on, you're gonna have your hands taped, they're gonna be wrapped between your knuckles, and that's gonna give you protection. If you're learning how to defend yourself with bare hands, then you're gonna have to roll your fingers, get that tight. Get that tight first, then the thumb comes over that first finger right there. Don't bring it across like this. See what that does to your hand? That just malforms it, misshapes it. And then when you hit, your wrist snaps back or it snaps down like that because you got part of your fist sticking forward like that. This can be a punch. That can be a knuckle punch right in his face for self-defense. That's not what we're doing. Roll the fingers, put the thumb there, and then pull it down. that way, not this way. That changes the shape of your fist. You're gonna hurt your fist. Roll it, bring it in, pull it down, squeeze it. Powerful forearms from doing knuckle punches, doing regular push-up or knuckle push-ups, regular push-ups. Build the power and your strength. You're gonna use your hands for self-defense. But to knock somebody out, you need extension, rotation of the shoulders and hips, and then get the whole body, acceleration of that punch by stepping in with that front foot. And it's not a lot. Don't take a big step. You don't wanna lower your center of gravity. If you take a big step, you lower your center of gravity, you gotta come back up to move forward or move back. It's just a small step, small step. It's just that accelerates that little hip or that turn of the hip. So that's that jabbing motion, right? The back foot, same thing, comes forward just a little bit, throwing that cross punch across your body to knock them out. Extension, rotation, out that first punch. Deliver it right, you get it, hit them with your whole body. I weigh 240 pounds this morning. I keep trying to get under 240, but it's not budging. I like to eat, I'm eating too much. But it's a good thing, we'll knock somebody out, being a little heavier, that gives you a little bit of an advantage, right? But when you step with that back foot, you rotate that pinky finger up so you get that full extension, you turn through your shoulders and hips, you're taking the entire weight of your body, accelerating it through his face for self-defense. You're more likely to knock him out than if you don't know how to punch and you're just throwing the arm, right? The arm's not gonna knock somebody out. Again, going back, because I know it's gonna come up, you can join me halfway through, practice jujitsu, learn some Brazilian jiu-jitsu. If you're totally serious, have a standing game and have a ground game. Ground game means you know what to do. If they take you to the ground and you fall to the ground, you get knocked to the ground. Learn how to fight on the ground. That's grappling. But we're talking about striking. This is a striking video. This is for me as I get older and my body, I don't want to go to the ground as much. And everybody will say, all fights go to the ground. It's not true. It's not my experience. None of my fights ever went to the ground, except with my brother, because I was trying not to hurt him. And I had 4 brothers, and we fought like cats and dogs all the time. But all the other fights for self-defense, stupid school fights, stupid Marine Corps fights, when you're in the Marines, you fight all the time. It's just part of the culture. Fist fights constantly. And then as a military policeman, and then as the profession that I do now, I'm in fights, I'm breaking up fights, but not all fights go to the ground. That is a mistake. People who don't understand, it's just like saying, if you throw a punch and you fully extend, you're gonna pop your elbow joint. No, you're not. And all fights don't go to the ground. If you know how to fight, you can move around, you can sidestep. Which brings me to movement. If you can move your body to the side, laterally, that means when you go to the right, you step right foot, left foot. You go to the left, you step left foot, right foot. Never cross your feet. Now, in some martial arts, you might step across and throw a kick. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about fighting with your bare hands, ending the fight fast. Always, if you have to move to the side, take a small step. Lead with the foot of the direction you're going. You gotta practice that, you'll get really good at it. Number 2, so fists are first. Number 2, palms. Palms, now if your fingers are open, each one by itself is weak and it'll snap like a little twig and it'll be a high-pitched sound and then man, that'll hurt and then you have to tape them together later after you get yourself stomped a little bit and because you couldn't defend yourself because you broke a finger. Put your fingers together, thumb at the side, and then they're stronger. It's that whole unity thing. We're stronger as a group. We're stronger together. Remember they say if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with a group. That doesn't have anything to do with what I'm saying, but remember that. That's true too. Get your fingers together, get your thumb at the side. They're more flexible, they're stronger. And when you strike on the palm, you're using this part right here, like 5 little bones right there, a little bony structure. That's the heel of the palm. And you deliver this the same way you throw that punch. You can do a front hand, just like a jab, front hand palm, front hand backhand, front hand backhand. You can bring it across like a hook, bringing that palm across his face. Nobody likes to be slapped like that, but it is very effective. You can end the fight fast, make somebody think twice, bringing that across. If your hand is rigid, you wanna get it rigid. When you throw your palm strike, pull your finger or your hand back a little bit, turn it out so it comes in, out a little bit. That exposes this part right here. It's a very strong part. It becomes an extension through the shoulders. And then the last 3 things we had from the last punch, extension, rotation of the shoulders and hips, and then that acceleration of the foot. Same thing, stepping in, palm striking to his face, palm striking to his face, palm strike. I got stopped. I was running after this kid to hit him, and this drill instructor stepped in, right there, open hand palm right to my midsection, right in the solar plexus. I thought I was gonna puke. knocked my wind out. I went straight to the ground, rolled around like a little baby, crying for mommy. And I thought, what did he hit me with? I didn't even see it. And I got up and I saw him out there just like taking kids out, just boom, boom, boom. It was a big platoon fight, platoon against platoon. Those in the Marine Corps, you know what I'm talking about. It was a field day at the end. They ramp you all up, they get you all amped up, everybody wants to fight. But that's really effective. Take someone's wind out, palm to the chin, palm to the nose, that open hand, palm to the side of the face. Very effective. You can do the palm to the intercostals, the ribs right here, reach in there, dig, and then turn. We call that a cow bite. You just kind of twist the hands like that. Reach in there, grab everything you can on that skin. How to defend yourself with your open hands, your bare hands, how to end the fight fast. Palm strikes were number 2. Number 3, my favorite, which I think is most effective, is gonna be best for you, are those elbow strikes, right? Now there are different ways to do the elbow. There are different purposes, different ways to use. You'll see some in martial arts, you'll see some for self-defense. In martial arts, a lot of times they're using that tip, and that tip will cut. It'll cut your skin, like in Muay Thai or in like kickboxing. Kickboxing, Muay Thai, Bando has it. Krav Maga uses elbows. I'm trying to think all the different styles. Everybody uses elbows, right? Traditional uses elbows. But when you do this horizontal, which is really, you can have your hands up, back up, you're too close, and then quickly step in and drop somebody to the ground, putting it right there on his chin, across the, into the temple for self-defense, into the neck. You could be sitting, you smash him in his elbow or his ribs, break the rib into his lung. He's coughing up blood for self-defense. But it's that horizontal, look how tight you keep that right here. Your palm faces the ground, that exposes the bone. And you can either strike with a very tip, if you're a purist and you say that's the only way you can, because I did Muay Thai, my name is Ang Bak, whatever. Or because you want to defend yourself, it doesn't matter, just hit with that bone right there. So it's coming across, and again, same as the last one, rotation, extension, coming forward. So you're going in 2 directions. You're not just turning around, you're not a flower, you're coming through here. I was thinking pinwheel, you're not a pinwheel. You're coming through here, but you're moving forward as you come through here. So 2 directions forward, that's that extension. You have that rotation through the shoulders and hips. And then you want to accelerate it by taking a step in, closing the distance, close with and destroy, violence of action for self-defense. That's a principle. You can bring it straight up this way. That also protects your head, allowing you to take that punch to your head, bringing it up maybe under his chin into his solar plexus, raking it through his nose and his face. You can bring it up at an angle this way. Same thing's always true though. You're gonna point your elbow or your palm down or out when you go up so that that bone is exposed. If you go like this, it's all muscle. That's soft, you don't wanna soften it for the guy. You wanna stick your elbow through his nose for self-defense. You can bring your elbow, I call this the chicken wing. Bring your elbow up and then bring it from here down. Maybe has his hands here, you get your hand up, bring it down. You can also grab your hands together and smash through his face 2 or 3 times, and then holding your hands, increasing the leverage and power, throw your elbows this way. Now you got a big long stick instead of just a short stick. You got a hanbo instead of a tanbo. The Okinawan guys know what I'm saying, they're eating it up. But you bring it up, you bring it down, you bring it any angle is the point. Best one, most powerful is when you take a step and you bring it higher, especially he's choking you from the behind. Never bring your hands under, you'll wring your own neck. Bring your elbow up, it'll break his hand off your neck, and you drive that elbow right into his face. That knocks a lot of people out. Bring it up into his chin, and then if he's too far away, keep going, just extend that arm and smash him with that closed fist. But turning, hitting that guy, just make sure you look first. Make sure it's not your mom coming up tapping you on your shoulder. Make sure it's somebody that needs to go to the ground and get knocked out for self-defense. So those are the basics. How do you defend yourself? How do you end the fight fast? Fighting with bare hands. We've got punches. That's more likely to break your hand. If you can avoid that, don't do that. Or if you think you have to, toughen up your hands. Buttercup, do something about it, right? Defend yourself. Second, palm strikes. Oh, this one, I forgot to say. This is my favorite move, right? Someone's holding on to you, you can go through the middle, get your thumb in his throat, push him off, just dig that right into his trachea. The gag reflex will push him back, or stick it in through his eye, pop the eye out of his face, stick it in the mouth on the side, beside his teeth, and then a rip, and give him the fish hook. Make him get off of you for self-defense. Hands together, scissor strike. You're making a scissor motion here, straight through his face, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Violence of action, but you gotta be fast, you gotta be explosive, you have to commit to it. And remember the 3 accelerators. Oh, we talk about elbows too, that's the third one. Punching, palm strikes, elbows, also all these other variations of things, sticking your fingers in his eyes, raking down his face, sticking your thumb right into that artery on the side of his neck, or that process of nerves, and then pushing. Those are all very effective, they do work. Putting your hand, your thumb against his eyeball and pressing in, he's gonna move back. That's why they say if a gator gets you down here in Florida, punch him in the face. If a shark gets you down here in Florida, punch him in the face. It's the same thing. Go for the eyes, go for the nose, go for those tender spots that they can't toughen up. They can toughen this up, they can make them so strong here, they can't do that, right through the throat. So that's where you go. But defend yourself for self-defense, talking life or death. You wanna be vicious, you wanna be violent, you want to go all in, but you don't wanna start the fight. This is never you being the aggressor. This is you protecting yourself, your life, your family, your dignity, your freedom. You have the right to defend yourself. We're not the aggressor, but we have to be able to step up and say, hey, you don't have to like me, but you can't touch me. You don't have to like who I am, where I come from, what I represent, what my beliefs are, how I'm dressed, how I look, how tall I am, how short I am, how skinny, how fat. You don't have to like any of that, but you can't make fun of me, you can't tease me, you can't push me around, and you cannot put your hands on me, and if they do, put your hands back on them and make them stop. Defend yourself. Extension, rotation, and acceleration. All the way out, taking that step and rotating through your shoulders and hips. Not in that order, but I think you guys know what I mean. Thanks for being here. Sorry I didn't get to read all of the comments. Libertarian Minded has, says follow through with the back fist. Back fists are great. We didn't talk about those so much, but they are really effective. Eleanor, thank you so much for being here. Marcus wants to know what would happen if you punch me in the stomach unflexed. So what Marcus is talking about, like boxers, you'll see, they'll do sit-ups, they'll have someone hit it, or they'll throw the medicine ball down and they'll hit with the medicine ball. And so there's a way to like toughen that up and tighten it so you can take a punch. If you're not tightening your stomach when you get punched, usually it hurts to knock your wind out a little bit. But that's, punching somebody in the stomach can be effective, but punching them in the solar plexus, which is right under this bony, this is the bone, that's your sternum, right under that bone. If you find that and you press in, it changes your voice, because that's how you breathe. You throw that punch, you just drop from here, drop and throw that punch. I did that foot, I did the extension, I did the acceleration, I did the rotation, but you can stop somebody, you can knock their wind out. So don't think about punching the stomach, think about punching the solar plexus. Hey Alita, it's good to see you. Jay Ben is here. Vernon, good to see you. Marcus, would you puke? Depends on what you ate, Marcus. I have a strong stomach, I don't puke very easily. You'd have to hit me pretty hard to make me puke, especially if it's something I like to eat. I don't want to throw up something I like to eat. It doesn't taste good the other way, right? It tastes good when you go down. But no, not necessarily. You might not puke. It might just really hurt. But don't go for the stomach. Go for that solar plexus. You want to defend yourself. Anyway, you guys have been awesome. I will see you on the next one.